I know I'll be attacked for saying this, but it's fine. It's the truth. But the men who follow Roland Martin do not tend to be alpha males. They normally tend to be what is called beta males. And I'm not saying this as an insult, but it is what it is. Back in the day, they called them hen peck. They don't wear the pants in their house. Those types of men, or LGBTQ men, those are normally the men that follow Roland Martin. Whenever you see an alpha male, a headstrong male, a male who stands on his shit on his show, Roland Martin attacks that man. So this is my observation. Y'all can get mad all y'all want. So when that video was released, it didn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? If it comes out that it's not real, cool. But for now, until I see that it's not, I believe it, because his behavior leads me to believe that's what he likes. And if he likes that, cool. You grown, do what you do. But I'm just saying, Roland Martin is very sassy, and alpha males do not follow Roland Martin. When I have men attacking me on behalf of the defense of Roland Martin, I mean, they don't be the most masculine men. That's all I'm saying.
You say what we say at home. So you're right. When you're sitting opposite of Scott Jennings, you got to jump in his ass. You got to jump in his ass. Jump in his ass. His ass. You got to push back immediately. Jump in his ass.
They're saying like all the college kids, boys, men, whatever they are trending conservative. And I'm like, yeah, duh. The left is so insane at this point that like if you're a dude, especially if you were a straight dude and put yourself in that category, like you're like insane. It's like, not only is it like, it's embarrassing. It's like, imagine being a man and being like, yeah, I'm a Democrat. It's like literally the most like feminine, embarrassing thing you could do.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a funny story, right? This is a fun story because a lot of people are noticing patterns, right? They're noticing patterns about the men who are supporting Kamala Harris, okay? People have noticed that a lot of these guys, okay, they don't seem to be the most masculine of men, okay? They seem to always be on these liberal networks, boohoo, whining, and grind, right? And people have picked up on this, okay? They have spoken out and said, hey, what's going on here? Why is it that a lot of these men that are supporting Kamala Harris, why is it that they seem to be more feminine, okay? Not very masculine, more beta, okay? Because if you notice, a lot of these guys out here supporting Kamala Harris, they just tend to carry themselves in ways that are non-traditional, okay? Their gesticulations, the way that they go about, sashaying around the place, people just got a lot of questions, right? And I want to talk about this, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. Are you worried about the future of the U.S. economy? With so much uncertainty in the air, it is natural to fret about the security of your retirement savings. However, there's one asset that stands the test of time, and that is gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against market volatility and economic instability. With a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals in order to secure your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. Diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up a gold IRA with Noble Gold Investments has never been easier with its streamlined process and expert guidance. This election year, do not let the volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. And Noble Gold Investments will give you up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar if you open a qualified account. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com now. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind.
Kamala was raised by an Indian mother in Canada. but now she sounds like Fannie Willis.
You know, I was going to come up on here and talk about his all upper palate, no lip having ass. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to do something else. I'll instead tell you the story of when I was in my first gay relationship at the age of 21. It wasn't until my boyfriend told me that when I went into barbershops or when I got into my Uber or my Lyft, that my voice went down a couple of octaves and my voice got deeper. See, as a gay man, in the recesses of my mind, my brain was saying, present in a way that is presentable, present in a way that is normal, quote unquote, so that you can be free from violence and harm.
Florida Congressman Byron Donald traveled far and wide to be up under his man to show support for him, blasting off in his rocket, likely with the rest of his crew, to show fealty to Donald John Trump, only for that man to get on that stage and say,
Look who we have. Byron, stand up, please. Superstar of the future, Byron Donald, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. He's great. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good. But we have
one of the good ones. One of the good ones. A racially coded dog whistle identifying you as a raisin that belongs in the milk. Hey guys and girls and gays, my he, she, and theys. Honey, we're cooked. Single time our nation has had the threat of a budgetary shutdown, Speaker Mike Johnson and congressional Republicans have fought to end the funding that supplements the price of PrEP and medications that both protect Americans from contracting HIV and also treats Americans living and thriving with HIV. We have seen numerous hit attacks on LGBTQI plus Americans all across this country.
So by now, if you haven't seen it, that little marketing twink, Be Better, has created this TikTok in which he is criticizing Kamala Harris's campaign. He's saying that the marketing isn't good. He's saying that she doesn't know anything about policy and that her entire push for president is void of any facts. And what he's saying is egregious, and it doesn't make any sense for what his platform is supposed to be, except for the fact that it's clearly clickbait. There's no way that somebody who claims to know a lot about marketing thinks that her campaign is not marketed well.
Yeah, so you're not supposed to notice this pattern among male Kamala Harris supporters in regards to how they carry themselves, okay? You're not supposed to ask questions about it, okay? You're not supposed to say, hey, what's going on with this, right? Why is it that these males seem to be a little bit different from everybody else, right? When you look at the average guy supporting Trump versus the average guy supporting Kamala, there seems to be a significant difference, okay? You're not supposed to point it out, right? You have people who are upset saying that, hey, it's not right that you have people calling men who support Kamala beta males and questioning their sexuality, right? Apparently, this is something that you're not supposed to do.
So this is what we're doing now. The new tactic is attacking straight black males, questioning their sexual identity because they support Kamala Harris, saying you're not an alpha male if you support her. You're not an alpha male if you're willing to pay the background for a black woman. You're not an alpha male if you protect black women. You're not an alpha male if you believe a black woman should have a leadership position. You're not an alpha male. They're attacking Roland Martin. They're attacking Plies. They're attacking any straight black male that has some common sense and common decency. Let me just say this to my straight brothers. Look. You don't want to be no alpha male. They have taken that and redefined it because alpha doesn't stand for what it used to. When these toxic motherfuckers come in your comment section talking about you're not an alpha male, take that as a compliment. Because alpha male stands for always ashy, always having criminal charges, always putting their hands on women because they always get caught choking you out, always never having a real source of income, always asking to borrow $20 till they get paid next week, always feeling less than and in competition with women, always being messy, always in everybody else's business, always having homoerotic admiration for other toxic black men, always questioning somebody's sexuality because you're insecure about yours, always dealing with untreated trauma because they mama refused to allow them to be a child and forced you to be their husband, always manipulative, always abusive, always suffering emotionally because the only emotion you were allowed to express was anger and aggression. Now that is what we call an alpha male. You know the flaw in being an alpha male is? Who the raised you? Okay, if you think this way about Kamala, then what the you think about your mama? Now Kamala may not see or hear your insults, but your daughters will. And watching their daddy disrespect this lady is gonna f up their self-esteem. But if you don't give a f about your daughter, I hope you give a f about your sons, because thinking about the generational curses he's about to inherit from you. Do you tell your son to talk over his mom? Do you tell your son that his mom ain't shit and deserves to be disrespected? Do you tell your son that the biggest threat to the black community isn't white supremacists, actually a black woman? Inquiring minds want to mother know what the hell do you talk to your son about? And before y'all come in my comment section, I was never without a father figure. I had 2 straight parents in the household, a black daddy and a black motherfucking mama, all the way until I was 18 years old. Y'all got motherfucking issues and y'all don't represent real heterosexual black men. Because the black men in my life that I looked up to was never this motherfucking toxic.
Wow. You can't make this up. You can't make this up, okay? So what you have here is a sassy individual, right? Sassy man trying to basically say what real heterosexual men are, right? I mean, this guy clearly is not heterosexual, okay? And the reason why you know this is because a post like this, in which this guy is getting roasted for putting this up on X, okay? He put this post out here. He says, Biden threw more dollars at black community than any other president in U.S. history. $5.8 billion to HBCUs, passed ARP, which lifted 50% of black children out of poverty until Republicans voted against extending it. So if Biden wants some booty, I'll be glad to do the bidding. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Okay? I mean, this is borderline prostitution, right? This is what this person is advocating for. Hey, Biden threw some money at the black community, right? At black HBCUs. Therefore, this guy says, hey, I'm going to give Biden some booty. And this is supposed to be the guy that is defining what real heterosexual men think, okay? It's just pretty funny, the lack of self-awareness here. But there are a lot of responses. Kimberly Klasick says, I don't question a black man's sexuality if he supports Kamala. I already know he's gay. Nothing wrong with being gay, but yes, only gay men support the VP. This person says, this is a dumb take. Black men aren't supporting Kamala because she's disingenuous and has terrible policies that will hurt the black community. Your attempt to demonize only shows you are led by emotions, not common sense. This guy says, Democrats remove black fathers, reduce academic standards, and destroy black schools to inhibit black progress, flooded black neighborhoods with immigrants and crime, infantilize black people, and revoke your blackness if you don't vote for them, but go on. This person says, yes, because you're a complete moron if you vote for this woman. The literal only reason anyone could have to vote for this joke of a lady who's frequently nervous and unable to lead a discussion would be because they are simping and virtue signaling to women. Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, I'm not going to say that if you're a man and you vote for Kamala Harris, that means that you're gay automatically. I'm not saying that. And I'm also not saying that I particularly care, right? I don't care what type of lifestyle that you live. I'm just saying that there's a certain pattern out there of men who happen to support Kamala Harris. It is something that a lot of people are picking up on, right? A lot of people are picking up on the fact that the men that are openly supporting Kamala Harris are not very masculine, okay? They are more feminine. And this is something that the Democrat Party admits out loud, right? They openly admit that they are targeting men who are not traditionally masculine, right? They call it modern masculinity, which just so happens to align with men who are more feminine.
But they are doing so in trying to put forward male figures, Tim Walz being one of them, Doug Emhoff last night, who can speak to men out there who might not be the sort of testosterone-laden, gun-toting kind of guy who wants to listen to Hulk Hogan and the kind of players that came out at the RNC, or might want to listen to that, but also, in addition, understand that it's okay in 2024 to be a man comfortable in his own skin who supports a woman. And that's something that they really are trying to work on with male voters beyond the base.
Abby, we were talking about this earlier, the different definitions of masculinity in 2024,
right.
And what we saw at the Trump convention, which was, as you know, somebody, I forget exactly who said it, testosterone with Kid Rock and the Ultimate Fighting Champion guy.
Yeah, that guy.
And Hulk Hogan.
Dana White. And all.
Remember, Hulk Hogan actually ripped off his shirt, and he had another shirt underneath, which I think is not exactly what the rip off the shirt thing is supposed to be. But in any case, I digress.
When you do it, it's not like that.
Just on the Hulk Hogan of it all, look,
Who, by the way,
will
said
talk
something
about-
racist
yeah,
the other night.
I was just going to say, I mean, just recently, he drunkenly asked a crowd whether they wanted him to body slam Kamala Harris. So when we talk about the kind of testosterone that they put on display at the RNC, that's what it was. There is a contrast that is going to be on display tonight here. I mean, there are going to be people associated with Planned Parenthood, the Human Rights Campaign, the LGBTQ plus organization. They are going to be putting those people on the stage to talk about a different version of America. But for Democrats, it's always this balancing act between feeding the need for their base to hear these messages of affirmation about a sort of rainbow coalition, if you will, of their party. But they do also have to talk to the people who maybe they're not comfortable with the Hulk Hogans, but they do want the party to speak to them.
Let's listen in.
Yeah, so there you have it, right? I mean, you can't get upset with people who are saying, listen, if you're a man and you support Democrats, then it's probably likely that you're not straight. When Democrats are openly saying, yeah, we're targeting dudes who are either not straight or are of low testosterone, right? Not traditionally masculine, okay? Low testosterone men, okay? Feminine men. This is who they're openly targeting, okay? So again, I'm not saying that, it is 100% certain that, you are gay or that you have low testosterone if you vote for Kamala Harris or Democrats, but I just don't understand why any straight male with normal testosterone levels, why in the world would you vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, okay? Why would you support a ticket that is overtly anti-male, right? They're anti-traditional values, right? They are pro an agenda to feminize young men. You talk about Tim Walz putting tampons in the boys' bathroom. That is the most least masculine thing that I've ever heard, okay? And, ultimately, when it comes to how men naturally are, a masculine man that is embracing his role as a man, no, they're not gonna want women to lead them, okay? I'm not saying it's impossible for a woman to be a leader, but Kamala Harris is not that type of woman, okay? Maybe, I don't know, somebody like Tulsi Gabbard, okay? Maybe, just maybe, she might be somebody that straight masculine men can get behind, but Tulsi and Kamala are totally different, right? Kamala's not that type of woman, okay? Kamala's not the type of woman that, in my opinion, a masculine man can get behind and say, oh yeah, she can lead me, right? I'm comfortable with her sitting in the same room as Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping or any of our foreign adversaries. I'm just not comfortable with it, right? I'm just not, okay? I just don't think that she has the cojones, literally, to lead this country. I just don't think so, okay? And a lot of these policies, a lot of things that Democrats are pushing, it just doesn't appeal to men. At this point, the Democrat Party is a woman's party. This is why over 60% of registered Democrats are women. That's for a reason, okay? Their agenda is pro a bunch of things that are not in line with what men want, right? And that's just the reality of the situation. So yeah, when you got the party openly admitting that, and when you have all of these men that are supporting Democrats that just so happen to carry themselves in ways that a lot of people find to be, questionable, then, that is the stereotype that is going to develop. And, when it comes to stereotypes, there's some truth, right? There's some truth in all stereotypes, which is why they exist. So, hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.